My child, stop right where you are. Do not scroll past this. Do not convince yourself this is just another moment in an ordinary day, because it is not. I have reached through the noise of everything competing for your attention to place this word directly in front of you, and I need you to understand something before you take another breath. This is not random. This is not coincidence. This is not something that found you by accident. I arranged this. I place this before you because I have something that must be said. Something that has been pressing against the walls of heaven, waiting for the exact right moment to reach the depths of your heart. That moment is now. Do not walk away. Do not let your fingers scroll past what I have prepared for you in this hour. I know what you have been carrying. I know the weight that sits on your chest when you wake in the morning. I know the questions that follow you through your day, the ones you push down so you can function, so you can smile, so you can keep going for everyone around you. I know the exhaustion that goes deeper than the body, the kind of tired that sleep cannot fix, and I am telling you right now, before you hear another word, that I see it. I see all of it. Every hidden corner of your struggle, every ache you have never been able to put into language, every cry that dissolved before it ever became a sound. I see you. And I have not looked away. Not once. Not even in the moments you were most certain I had. My beloved child, stay with me. Do not let this moment pass you by. What I am about to pour into your spirit has the power to shift something fundamental inside of you. People will come and go. Circumstances will rise and fall. But what I am speaking over you in this hour carries the weight of eternity, and it is yours if you will only remain and receive it. So lean in, let your heart open, and let me speak. My child, I want to take you back. I want to walk with you through the road you have traveled, because I need you to see what I saw. I need you to understand that not one step of your journey has been invisible to me. Not one moment has escaped my gaze. Not one tear has fallen without my knowledge. You have lived through seasons that threatened to swallow you whole. Seasons where the darkness felt so complete that you questioned whether morning would ever come again. You have sat in rooms full of people and felt completely alone. You have laughed at the right times and said the right things while inside your soul was quietly crumbling under a weight you could not explain to anyone around you. I saw you in those moments. I want you to know that with everything in me, when you smiled through broken teeth and pretended the pain was manageable, I was beside you. When you drove home in silence and let the tears fall only when no one else could see them, I was there. When you pressed your face into your pillow at night and whispered words you were afraid to say aloud, I heard every syllable. When you could not even form words and only groaned from a place too deep for language, I understood. Every sound, every silence, every trembling breath you took in the dark when you did not know if you had the strength to face another day. I was there for all of it. You have asked me so many times, does anyone see this? You have whispered into what felt like empty air, Lord, do you hear me? You have lain awake staring at the ceiling and wondered whether your prayers were reaching anything beyond the walls of the room you were in. You have felt the silence between your cries and interpreted it as absence. You have looked at the stillness around you and believed the lie that stillness meant I had turned away. My beloved child, I need you to hear me now with everything you have. The silence was never absence. I was never gone. I was working in the quiet places, in the hidden spaces, in the deep underground of your story, where eyes cannot see and hands cannot reach. I was there, and I was building something you could not yet perceive. Not one tear you have cried was wasted. Not a single one. I have collected every tear, held every sigh close to my heart, remembered every prayer that rose from a broken and desperate place inside of you. You thought they disappeared into nothing. You thought they were too small, too broken, too fragile for heaven to notice. But I tell you now, your prayers never went unheard. Your tears never went uncounted. Your name has never left my lips. I have been speaking your name over your life even in the seasons when you could not feel me speaking. Even in the stretches of time when my silence seemed louder than any answer, I was there, whispering life into the places that were starting to go cold. Comment, Father. You are the one who carried me, if he has been your strength in the darkness. I know the betrayals you have endured. I know the sting of discovering that someone you trusted completely was capable of wounding you so deeply. I saw when the people who should have stayed walked away. I saw when the promises made over your life were broken by the very hands that made them. I saw when love that should have been safe became a source of injury. I watched you question your own worth in the aftermath of those wounds. I watched you wonder if there was something about you that invited abandonment. Something about you that made people leave. And I want to speak directly into that lie right now. The people who left were not proof of your unworthiness. They were not evidence that you are too much or too broken to be loved fully. Some people had to leave because their presence in your future would have cost you more than you could afford to pay. Some doors had to close because what was behind them would have destroyed what I was carefully building in you. I was not punishing you when I allowed those losses. I was protecting you even when protection felt exactly like pain. You have also carried wounds that came not from others but from your own hands. Decisions you made in seasons of desperation or confusion that you have replayed over and over again, wishing you could reach back through time and undo them. You have carried shame for choices made in your weakest moments. You have rehearsed your failures in the quiet of your mind until they felt louder than everything good that has ever been spoken over you. My beloved, I need you to hear this truth and let it go all the way down into the deepest part of your being. I have not kept a record of those failures. I do not hold them over you. The cross was not a symbol. It was the moment I took every one of those failures, every piece of shame, every broken choice, every wound you inflicted and every wound you received, and I carried it all myself. You do not have to carry what I have already carried. You were not meant to live beneath the weight of what has already been redeemed. My child, the season you have been walking through has felt relentless. It has felt like the battles keep coming before you have had a chance to breathe from the last one. It has felt like the moment you begin to find your footing, the ground shifts again. You have wondered how much a single person is expected to endure. You have asked me, Lord, is there a limit to this? Is there a point where the testing stops and the rest begins? And I want to speak to you about that now, because the answer matters more than you know. The fire you have been standing in was never meant to consume you. I want you to think of gold. Not gold as you find it in the earth, mixed with impurities and rough at the edges, but gold as it emerges from the furnace, refined, purified, luminous with a quality it could never have possessed without the heat. You have been in the furnace, and what is coming out of you now is something more pure, more radiant, more valuable than what went in. The fire did not destroy you. The fire revealed you. Think also of a seed. When a seed is placed in the ground, there is a period of absolute invisibility. Nothing breaks the surface. Nothing announces that life is happening beneath the soil. To every eye that looks at that patch of ground, it appears that nothing is there. It appears that the ground is empty, that the planting was in vain, that the waiting will produce nothing. But under the surface, in the dark and the hidden places, roots are spreading. Foundations are being established. Life is pressing upward with a force that cannot be stopped. That is what has been happening in you. Every season you thought was barren was actually a season of underground preparation. Every period of silence was roots growing deeper. Every stretch of waiting was life pressing upward. And now, my beloved child, something is about to break through the surface. But I must also tell you about the voice you have been listening to in the dark, because there has been a voice speaking to you that does not belong to me, and it has been speaking loudly. It has told you that you are forgotten. It has told you that the promise was for someone else, someone more qualified, someone less broken, someone who has not made the mistakes you have made. It has whispered that the waiting is proof of your rejection, that the silence is my answer, that the closed doors are my verdict on your life. That voice is a liar. Every word it has spoken about your worth, your future, your standing before me has been a fabrication designed with one purpose only, to keep you from receiving what I have already declared belongs to you. The enemy fights loudest when breakthrough is closest. He does not waste his energy on lives that are not threatening to him. The fact that he has pressed so hard against you is itself a sign of what is rising in you. Do not give that voice another moment of your agreement. Do not let it have the last word in your heart when I am speaking a different word right now. You are not forgotten. You have never been forgotten. You are not abandoned. You have never been abandoned. You are not too broken. There is no level of brokenness that places you beyond my reach. You are mine, and that has not changed. Not through your failures, not through your doubts, not through the seasons where you pulled away and wondered if any of this was real. My love for you is not a fragile thing that shatters when you stumble. It is the most unshakable force in existence, and it has been directed at you without wavering from before the moment you took your first breath. Type amen and write, I receive your promise, if these words have reached the part of you that needed to hear them most. My beloved child, now I need to speak about what is coming, because you have been in the valley long enough, and it is time for you to lift your eyes toward what I am releasing over your life. The season of endless struggle, the cycle of crying out and hearing only silence, the pattern of hoping and being disappointed, that cycle is breaking. It is not merely winding down, it is breaking. I am declaring with the authority that belongs only to me, that the chapter of prolonged waiting is closing, and a new chapter is beginning to open before you. This is not wishful language. This is not comfort designed to make you feel better while nothing actually changes. This is a divine declaration spoken over your life by the one who holds time in his hands, and I do not speak words that return to me empty. I am opening doors over your life that no hand can shut. Not the hand of any person who has worked against you. Not the schemes of the enemy who has tried to block your path at every turn. Not even your own sense of unworthiness, which has made you feel that blessing is something that happens to other people but not to you. The doors I am opening were designed for you before the foundations of the earth were laid. They have your name written on them. They have been waiting for this exact season, this exact moment in your journey, when you have been refined enough to walk through them without being destroyed by what is on the other side. I am releasing healing into your life, healing that reaches further than your body, though I am touching your body too. I am releasing healing into the places that ache most, the places that have been wounded longest, the places you have stopped expecting to recover because the wound has been there so long it started to feel like a permanent part of who you are. Those wounds are not your identity. They are the places where my power is about to be most visibly demonstrated. The deepest wounds become the most undeniable testimonies. And your testimony is not finished. It is not even close to finished. I am bringing provision where there has been lack. I am not a God who gives barely enough to survive. I am a God of abundance, and what I release does not trickle, it flows. Think of how I fed multitudes with what a child carried in his hands. Think of how I turned water into something far richer than what was originally expected. That is the nature of what I give. I do not replace what was lost with the exact equivalent. I replace it with something greater. You have lost things in this season that were precious to you. Dreams that collapsed. Opportunities that slipped away. Relationships that broke. And I am not telling you to pretend that those losses did not cost you something real. They did. But I am also telling you that the restoration I bring does not simply return you to where you were before the loss. It takes you further than you were before the loss began. What is coming will be greater than what was taken. The latter portion will exceed the former. That is my pattern, and I do not change. I am also releasing joy back into your life. Not the surface-level happiness that depends on things going well. Not the kind that evaporates the moment a difficulty rises. I am speaking about deep, settled, unshakable joy that persists even in the middle of storms, because it is rooted not in circumstances but in the knowledge that I am faithful, and that nothing about your story is beyond my redemption. That joy is already moving toward you. It is already pressing at the edges of your spirit. You may have felt a small stirring even as you received these words. Do not dismiss that stirring. That is the beginning of what I am releasing. My beloved child, as I pour these blessings out over your life, I need to give you something that is just as important as the promise. I need to give you a warning, because blessing unguarded is blessing endangered. What I am releasing into your hands is precious, and the enemy knows it. He could not stop me from giving it to you. But he will try to steal it once it arrives if you are not prepared. I am telling you this not to frighten you, but to make you ready, because a prepared heart is a protected heart. When the blessing begins to unfold, when the doors open and the provision flows and the healing becomes visible, There will be a voice that tries to say you did this yourself, that your efforts, your strategies, your strength, your perseverance alone produce this result. My child, receive the blessing, celebrate the breakthrough, but do not take what belongs to me. The moment pride lifts its head and whispers that you are the author of your own breakthrough, the sweetness will begin to drain from the blessing. Stay humble, stay grateful. Every good and perfect gift flows from above. When people ask how this happened in your life, let your answer always point back to me. Humility will not diminish the blessing. Humility will extend it. Guard also against fear. When things begin to turn in your favor, the enemy will shift his strategy. He will begin to whisper different lies. What if this does not last? What if I lose this too? What if I am not strong enough to sustain what God is giving me? Fear will try to chase you even into the blessing if you give it permission to enter. When fear rises, speak my word over it. I have not given you a spirit of fear. I have given you power, love, and a sound mind. Fear shrinks what faith enlarges. Choose to remain in faith even when the natural mind wants to calculate every possible way the blessing could be threatened. Be careful also with your voice in this season. Remember how Joseph carried a dream that was real, a genuine word from me, and shared it before the time was right. The dream was true. The timing of sharing it was not. Some things I give you are meant to be held close for a season, protected in the quiet of prayer and trust, allowed to grow in the hidden place before they are exposed to the responses of others. Not everyone around you will celebrate what I am doing in your life. Some will doubt it. Some will speak words designed to introduce confusion into your faith. Guard your promise. Keep it close until I show you it is time to let it be seen. Silence in the right season is not weakness. It is wisdom. Stay near me through prayer in this new season. Do not let the busyness of breakthrough pull you away from the source of the breakthrough. Blessings are meant to deepen your relationship with me, not distract you from it. When you were waiting, you pressed into prayer out of desperation. Do not let the arrival of the answered prayer make you press in less. Stay close. Stay dependent. Stay in the place of communion with me where my voice remains clear and the enemy's voice remains distant. A heart that stays near me in the season of blessing is a heart that I can continue to entrust with more. And my child, remain in gratitude, not just for the large and obvious evidences of my hand, but for the small things, the morning light, the breath in your lungs, the moments of unexpected peace, the small provisions that arrive before you even asked. Gratitude is not merely an attitude. It is a posture that keeps your eyes fixed on my faithfulness and prevents you from drifting into the forgetfulness that allows blessings to be taken for granted. A grateful heart is a heart positioned to receive more. My beloved child, I want to bring you now to the place where I seal everything I have spoken over your life in this hour, because I do not only want you to hear these words and feel something in the moment. I want you to carry something out of this encounter that remains with you. I want the truth I have spoken to take root so deep that no storm, no discouragement, no returning wave of doubt can uproot it. You are not forgotten. Say that to yourself right now. Let it go past the surface of your mind and settle into the deepest layer of your heart. You are not forgotten. You have never been forgotten. Not in your darkest season. Not in your most broken moment. Not when you turned away. Not when you doubted. Not when you could not find the words to pray. Not once, not ever, have you slipped from my awareness or faded from my love. You are engraved on the palms of my hands. You are constantly before my eyes. You are always on my heart. That is not a phrase designed to make you feel temporarily better. That is the permanent, unchanging, unbreakable reality of who you are to me. Your story is not finished. I need you to believe that with everything you have. The chapters that felt like endings were not endings. They were transitions. They were the spaces between what was and what is coming. The pages that seemed blank were not blank. They were being written in a language you could not yet read. But you will read them. You will look back over this season from a place of breakthrough and fulfillment, and you will see the hand of a faithful God in every line, even the painful ones, even the confusing ones, even the lines you would not have chosen to include. I am the author and I do not write wasted chapters. Everything has been purposeful. Everything has been moving in the direction of something beautiful. Your pain is going to become your testimony. The very things that made you cry in private will one day cause someone else to find hope. The wounds that felt like they were only costing you will become the places through which my light shines most clearly onto other people who are in the middle of their own darkest nights. You will be a living proof of my faithfulness. Not because your life will be without difficulty from this point forward, but because the way I have kept you, restored you, healed you, and brought you through will be undeniable. People will look at your life and see evidence of a God who does not abandon his children. I am with you now as surely as I have been with you through every previous season. You are not walking into this new chapter alone. You are walking into it with me, the one who goes before you and prepares the way, the one who stands behind you as your rear guard, the one who is beside you closer than your next breath. You do not need to figure out the path on your own. You only need to trust the one who holds the path in his hands. And I have proven myself trustworthy, not in ways that have always been comfortable, but in ways that have always been faithful. I have never failed you. I will not begin now. Right. I trust you, Lord, with everything I am carrying, if you are choosing to release it into my hands right now. So lift your head, my beloved child. Lift it now. You have had your eyes on the ground for long enough. You have been looking at the evidence of the struggle when I am asking you to look up at the evidence of what I am doing. The morning is here. The long night is giving way. The breakthrough that has been pressing against the surface of your life is breaking through, and it will not be small, and it will not be brief, and it will not be something anyone can deny. It will carry my fingerprints so clearly that even you, in all your seasons of doubt, will not be able to question that this was me. Stand tall. You are not made to stay bent under this weight forever. You are made to rise, to walk forward, to carry light into places that have forgotten what light looks like. That is your calling. That is the purpose I wove into you before you ever arrived in this world. And all of the preparation, all of the refining, all of the seasons of root growing in the dark, it has all been building toward the version of you that is capable of carrying that purpose without being crushed by the weight of it. I love you. Not the future version of you that has it all together. Not the polished presentation you offer when you want to appear strong. I love you right now, today, in this moment, with every scar and every question and every lingering doubt still present. I love you completely and without condition. That love does not shift when you stumble. It does not diminish when you pull away. It does not expire when you feel unworthy. It is fixed on you with a permanence that nothing in heaven or on earth can alter. You are mine. I chose you. I have always chosen you. And I will never stop choosing you. Closer than the air in your lungs. Nearer than the pulse in your chest. Present in every room, on every road, in every silent moment when you feel most alone. That is where I am. That is where I have always been. And that is where I will remain. Do not be afraid of what is ahead. Do not let the unknown silence the faith that has carried you this far. Walk forward. Walk into the new chapter. Walk into the breaking dawn with your head lifted and your heart open, knowing that the one who has brought you through every previous storm is walking beside you into this next season. You are chosen. You are loved. You are seen. You are mine. And the best of your story is still being written. Do not turn away from this moment. Receive it. Let it go deep. And carry it with you as a living reminder that the God who spoke these words over you is faithful. And faithful means he will do exactly what he promised. Every word, without exception, without fail. Type Amen if you receive this promise and share this word so that someone else who needs to hear it today will not miss what I have placed in front of you both.